And no, this was totally not set up like this. So that is a 72 CUDA. All right, just like the demo car, what it started out like, the same thing. Except we're switching his to a 71, it'll have different taillights and grille. This is the motor. Oh my God. It is massive. Here's my hand on the valve cover. That is insane.
Hey, Steve from Muscle Rod Shop. Yellow CUDA is finally out of the booth, and today we're going to finish up the undercoating on the car. As you can see, it's all masked off, ready to go. The underside of the car has already been undercoated. We did that while I was on the rotisserie earlier on in the process. However, there's some overspray around the edges we need to clean up, and we need to shoot the sides of the engine compartment. Now for the undercoat, we like to use this Transtar product, available at a lot of your local auto parts stores. And for a gun, we don't get fancy with it. This is an old undercoat gun with a piece of rubber hose in it, stuck in it, and we're going to hook it up to the air hose with a regulator so we can turn the pressure down a little bit and just start shooting it. Later on, once we're done with the undercoat, we're going to sound deaden the inside. We're going to use the same gun but a different product, and we'll show you that when the time comes. And one thing, because this is a Mopar, we get to do that you non-Mopar guys don't get to do, is we get to shoot the inside of the cowl so that when you look through the vents, it's all nice and black and clean and pretty. It's one area of frustration we have on a lot of the other cars, like Mustangs and Camaros, where you just can't get down in there and do it nice. But you can see that's all masked off. We're going to get the black all shot in there, and it'll look really, really nice. Previously, before the car came out of the booth, we'd already shot the core support with the matte black finish. This is a SEM product. We use Hot Rod Black on this car, as well as on the tail panel. So I'm not going to be undercoating the front of the car. It'll be black and it'll match the side, but it's a different product that's on the front. So we've got our respirator, we've got our royal purple gloves, and we're ready to go. With the undercoat done, now we're going to shoot the inside. We've gone back, masked off the parts we don't want to put the sound deadener spray on. All the body plug holes are shot, and we're getting ready to spray. So for the sound deadener on the inside, we're going to shoot a latex-based product. Now there's several of them out there. This one's lizard skin, there's a snake skin, snake pliskin. This stuff is water-based, it's ready to mix. We're going to use the same gun we used to shoot the undercoat, and we're going to get on that and get it taken care of. So these lizard skin products, like all the spray and inside stuff, is water-based, so it's easy to clean up with soap and water when you're done. Unlike the undercoat that we shot yesterday, which is an oil-based product, which you clean your tools with lacquer thinner. If you get any overspray on anything with it, you catch it while it's still relatively soft. The best product to take that off with is wax and grease remover.
Good.
Okay, so that finishes it for the spray-in sound deadener. We'll let this sit a day or two, get it nice and dry. As it dries, it'll become darker, almost black. And then we'll come back in and lay down our sound deadener. We're going to be using VibraSound on this car. There'll be a special product for the firewall, something else for the floor. When it's all said and done, this car is going to be riding quiet and it'll feel very solid.
Hey, this is Brent with Vibra Solutions. We're down here at Muscle Rod Shop, giving some advice on what to put on this firewall on this CUDA. Basically what we have is a solution to turn your old car into a more of a up-to-date, sound deadened, much quieter ride. Not very much sound dampening put in these, so you hear a lot of engine noise, a lot of drivetrain noise. So this solution is going to work best. We've got different thicknesses of the mat. The mat's going to kill your low frequencies. So your motor, your exhaust, your drivetrain. This 5mm mat is basically going to go on the firewall, basically down here, and then across your transmission tunnel, killing all that front noise. We've got a 2mm mat that is more common, more widely used, and that's going to go basically on your floor pans, all the way back, your door skins, the roof, pretty much everywhere else. The whole second layer to all of this is the foam that goes on top of it. We make two different size foams, a 6mm and a 12mm foam. This is basically gonna absorb a little bit higher frequencies than the drivetrain. Without doing this, you're really only fixing half of the problem. So this is basically like a 21st century replacement for the old jute that used to come underneath the carpet. It looked like a bunch of dryer lint. So this is water resistant, it's closed cell foam. So
That's some thick stuff.
So all this product is made in the USA. It's all developed from my years and years in the automotive car audio industry, dealing with frequencies and sounds and stuff like that. So this is kind of a product that's good quality at a low price, that doesn't have logos all over it, keeps it clean. And
all right, so as far as this stuff goes, this is gonna go firewall on your feet and then across the transmission tunnel. And then the foam goes on top of that.
yeah.
And then what goes on the roof?
So on the roof, you basically want to kill the vibration of that flat sheet metal.
Right.
There's not much structure in between it, so that's prone to basically resonating with different frequencies. So by adding mass to it, it kills that piece of sheet metal from sitting there and actually making a tone or a sound by the wind rushing over it and it basically vibrating. We also make another product that's got this 2mm butyl with a polyester woven material that's on top of it, that it absorbs all the frequencies that are basically bouncing around off your harsh glass from inside the cabin of the car. So it basically gives you better acoustics, better, if there is noise in your car, it's basically absorbing it.
And then you were also saying that stuff goes inside the doors, right?
Yeah.
So you can also put that inside the quarter panels up in
So
here.
yeah, you can do your door skins. I mean, you're definitely going to want to do on the wheel wells, because that's where a lot of that tire hitting the road. You can really hear a difference when you jump off from a smooth brand new road to gravel road. You definitely hear a big difference in how much, you know, the road noise is affecting it. So it's really important to kind of get all these different layers on there to give a total solution to where it's like a brand spanking new Cadillac or Mercedes.
Yeah, when you get in the car and you shut the door and it almost pops your ears.
Yeah, and
it's like sealed tight.
Sealed tight, and yeah, just shutting a classic car door, you know, I mean, it rattles, and there's a lot of things just moving and shaking in there.
Right.
And when you do all this, treat those doors and the inside skin and the outside skin, and put the 6mm foam in there, you just shut those doors and it just sounds like a brand new car.
Yeah.
Just solid.
Always canceling your car. That's exactly what you're doing with this stuff. So you got your website or YouTube or Instagram or anything?
Yeah, it's basically vibrosolutions.com or @vibrosolutions.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna get some of this stuff put on and show you all what it looks like. Hi, Paul. What? So we're gonna take a little break from the yellow Cuda, and we're gonna move to the demo Cuda. What's up, y'all?
Cut.
Yeah, I did actually. That's Paul over there talking about the trash, but. All right, so anyways, Brandon here from Muscle Rod Shop and my good buddy,
Tony.
Tony. So we were back on the demo car. Last week in Texas, it was like 7 degrees and snowing and ice. And today it is hot. It is about what, 80 to 70 degrees. And so it's a good day. This is what we like. We like that here in Texas. So what we're doing today is we're getting started on the diesel motor. So we're gonna end up moving this thing back. I'll show you what we got right now. So we got it all torn apart again. It's different from the last time you saw with the update. We are getting ready to move the motor back the 7 inches that it's gonna go. That's gonna require taking these motor mounts out, which they're held on by these big giant rivets. And we're just gonna move those 7 inches back. If it gets into the shock tower, then we're gonna move the shock tower. And then as far as the transmission mount goes, it's gonna be kind of easy. So you got these 3 bolts here, and same thing on the bottom. If I can get down there, let me show you. You see the 3 there? So those 3. So you got 3 on top, 3 on bottom for each side. And we're gonna measure 7 inches back for this also, and start drilling that hole and put our 3 holes in, so that when we lift this motor up, all right, we're gonna put a chain on this, and when you lift it up, we don't have to take this engine out. We just gotta slide it back and line those holes back up back there and put these where we want them. These holes are gonna be pre-drilled back, so everything will just go right back in its spot. Now these are going to end up being bolts. Yes, Tony?
I was going to ask if we're going to use bolts.
Yes, Tony. So we're gonna end up doing that, putting bolts back. For now. For now, just for mock-up. We're not gonna do anything crazy. We're just mocking this motor up. Later on, you know, maybe we'll weld the strap from here to the valve cover and make sure this thing doesn't go anywhere. Good idea? Okay, we won't do that. So, by the way, this thing's getting a compound turbo set up, so it'll end up having a smaller turbo down here. I'm thinking it's like a 66 mil or something like that. This is a 35, I believe, a factory turbo. HX35, I don't know what the, it doesn't matter. Either way.
Watermelon.
What?
Watermelon size turbo?
Yeah, the watermelon turbo. So we got a smaller turbo going down here. It's gonna sit in this little pocket, and then it is going to feed into the bigger turbo. And the bigger turbo is sitting on top, is about the size of watermelon, and it's gonna be, I think, an 88 mil. I'm pretty sure that was what Jacob from Smetting was saying. But
200.
200? Want a 200 mil? We'll do a 200 mil turbo. Yeah, it's good idea. Bigger, better. All right, so we're gonna get on it and get this motor lifted up and pushed back. Oh, one more thing. I wish I would have filmed this before we took the whole thing apart, but we situated the fender where it's gonna be cut. A lot of y'all were saying, you know, just cut the fender and then extend it 5, 6 inches, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna extend the fender. So instead of moving a bunch of stuff around like wheel well, the wheel well still has to be moved a little bit, but instead of just moving the entire wheel well, we're just gonna cut the back of the fender, extend it out a little bit. We'll get through that whole process and you will see everything.
We move forward about 1/4 of an inch.
Forward, it moved back, Tony. It moved back.
I feel like we're moving forward in life.
Look, we're moving back.
Should we get more hands? Is that ours?
No, we have enough hands. Do we need
I'm
more
not trying
hands?
to stick my hands in there.
Between you and I, we got 4 hands. That's like 4 people, right? Do you need more hands? 'Tis time. So next thing on the list, we are going to be moving these holes over here. All right, so the 7 inches on those two, and move this motor back 7 inches, that motor. So, we got the rivets and everything's moved over. That one's not gonna work yet because there's a hole here, a big hole. We can put a pretty big bolt in it, it'd be great. So Tony's gonna punch those, and then I'm gonna go mark the other side. Be careful, buddy, careful. You got this. Dang. Yeah. Oh, you. Oh, is that a hole in there already? Damn.
Right on our mark.
Yeah. Well, all right. Next. Come on, man. You got pretty. So we use tape on there instead of the nothing.
So 2 more.
Yeah, we might run into the same problem on this side. So on this side, the driver's side, it's got a big fuel filter here. And so that's coming out. And we'll do a remote mount somewhere else. Okay, so now this side's done. And Tony's gonna punch that. And then all that's left is we're gonna do the same thing we did up on top on the bottom and move those holes over. Tony, let's do this. We're gonna find these holes for the bolts over here to move the motor back the 7 inches we need to go. So I'm gonna measure, and Tony is going to punch a hole,
Center punch.
what the hell is it called? Center punch. We're gonna center punch the holes. That's what we're,
Hose.
yeah, that's what we're doing now. Okay,
Punching hose.
punching hose.
Holes.
Holes, not hose. All right, we're gonna start at 1, just so we make sure we're right in the middle. There, and go to 8. That would be 7 inches. So we're gonna center punch right there at 7 inches, however far it is away from the edge here. Okay, we're gonna do that now. Okay, so we're there. Doing pretty good. All right, so right now we got a strap hooked up to the cross member, hooked up back there with Tony, and he's gonna give it a ratchet. Okay, go ahead. Oh, look at that. Looks great. Let me move the engine hoist with it, hold on. Okay, go ahead. Hold on a sec. Uh-oh. Yep. Uh-oh. All right, go ahead. There you go, moving pretty good. Can I hold it? All right, go ahead. All right, hold on, let me find out where we are. All right, we need to go back about 3 inches. Go ahead. All right, hold it. That's as far as it's gonna go anyways.
Why?
Because it's sitting against the shock tower thing. And we need about 1/8 of an inch in that hole.
Not going?
It ain't gonna go.
Oh, shock tower.
Okay, so got it moved back. The engine's pushed back to 7 inches, drilled all the holes. Here you go. There it is. The bolts are back 7 inches there. And they are back 7 inches here. So you really can't tell except for here. So now we got our clearance. That's all we need. That's plenty of room there. The windshield wiper will still fit on. So we're good to go there. Thing's sitting back right where it should. And the other side is finished up. Now what we're gonna do is go get rid of all the holes that we do not need here. They're all gonna get welded up. Don't know for sure about those, they'll get welded up anyways. And then the next thing we're gonna start on, that Tony's gonna start on too, is getting these 1x3. We're gonna get those set across here. They're gonna go right across. They're gonna weld up to the inner rocker panels of the CUDA, and that is going to make our frame for the body that we can then weld the floor pans onto. So we'll also be able to get the size of the tranny tunnel, and this transfer case is not gonna be used. We're actually going with a giant billet transfer case, and that transmission is gonna be a little bit different. So what we're gonna do is make a transmission tunnel that anything can fit in. And then we can start on the firewall. Get the firewall built. That's gonna be pretty simple. Obviously, we can see what we need to do here. So all this will be flat, all the way across, a little bit of a hump, and then back down. It's gonna be a really simple firewall. It's not gonna be anything crazy. And then also body mounts. Body mounts will come off of that 1x3 bar I just showed you here. That is gonna, one of those are gonna sit up in front, all the way across, up over the transmission tunnel and that way. And then there will be a couple that follow the frame rail all the way back, making a square. So then we'll have our body mounts will come off of the 1x3 coming off of here, and we'll be able to do body mounts on that. And back here in the back where that spring perch is for the CUDA spring perch that we are no longer going to use. Just to go over some questions that have been asked on YouTube. This one seems to get asked a lot. What are we doing with the springs? The springs, the leaf springs, are actually going underneath the frame. Okay. So in the back, they'll be moved underneath the frame, front, and okay, so that we can shorten the axle. The axle will be shortened, and we have more tire clearance. This from here back is all going away. The frame rail, that's gonna be replaced with much bigger, thicker stuff, and it's straight. It doesn't drop back down. It actually just goes straight along with this. This rail here is moving before we weld the floor in. It's gonna move in so it's parallel with the frame rail itself. So that's what we got for today. We'll probably end up doing more stuff. Actually, I know we are. We have to put the bars in for the floor and get that frame done so we can start mounting the floor pan and get the transmission tunnel ready to go. Right. So, and the firewall too. So we'll be doing that next. And then of course that'll be in the next video coming up. So I think that's all we got for right now. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you stopping by. And please subscribe. Tony? Yep. You guys say bye.
Bye.
There you go. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.